There's a lot of uncertainty in the world right now. What if everything you depend on today, your loved one depends on today, so government benefits, funding, services, was gone tomorrow? That's a scary thought. And that's a scary thought a lot of families are facing. But let's be honest, it wouldn't be the first time that we face this. If your loved one has been through the school system, you've already felt this. Support didn't just fade away, it fell off a cliff, and suddenly you're left scrambling trying to piece something together. Looking back, I bet you'd agree. You would have been better off preparing for that shift years in advance. Here's the good news. We can prepare for what's next. We can build a more lasting support system, one that doesn't just collapse if one of the elements changes in the support system. So today, I want to share with you 3 ways to do just that. So strategy number 1 is to build more than just one kind of support. So relying on just one type of support puts your loved one at risk. So we have to think bigger, and we have to build a resilient support system. And that means layering different types of support so that when one of the types of support changes or it goes away, the whole thing doesn't crumble down. So here's an example of what some of those different types of supports are that you want to layer into your loved one's support system. So paid support, government supports might be part of that, right? And that's great. But over and above that, we want to be thinking about these different types of support. So it could be a support circle. Those are people who you're intentionally bringing into your loved one's life and supporting those people to build relationships intentionally with your loved one. These are people who are unpaid and choose to be in your loved one's life. It could be more natural supports. So this could be community members, neighbors, extended family. It could be coworkers, anybody in the community who might be naturally supporting your loved one in any roles that they might hold. Tech supports. Technology continues to advance at super fast rates so that we need to be considering what tools and apps are going to support our loved one to live their best life and promote independence, which might actually replace some of the support from other areas that they might be getting. Capability building. We need to recognize that sometimes we just step in and do things for our loved one because it's faster. Same with other supporters. We need to recognize that our loved one can still grow. They can still build their own capability no matter their disability. And the rate and the amount of that is going to vary by person, but we can coach our loved one to build more of their own skills so there's less dependency and reliance on other people. And yes, it's also helpful if we do financial planning. So thinking of savings and trusts and investing in those types of methods so that it's available when it's needed. So this kind of layering of supports gives you that foundation of support that's more sustainable for your loved one. It gives you more options, more independence, and again, more sustainability so that if one element of that support system changes, the whole thing doesn't collapse like a house of cards. Okay, so I want to give you another strategy. Strategy number 2 is to think long-term. So this is really focusing on building circles, building systems that aren't completely reliant on funding. One of the most powerful things you can do, and I already mentioned this in strategy number 1, but it's so important, I want to mention it again in strategy number 2, is to build a circle of support. That's a group of people who show up for your loved one, not because they're paid to, but because they care and they want to be in your loved one's life. And that can feel overwhelming. I get it. Simplify it. Start with as simple as one person. And it doesn't have to be a family member. It can be, but it can be anyone who's shown interest in your loved one's life, a family, a friend, a previous paid supporter. All those are great places to start. And I want you to understand that that doesn't happen overnight. It's going to take intention. It's going to take consistency. But over time, as you're consistent and you're supporting your loved one to give to other people's lives, it helps to create something stronger that any program or policy has. So these natural support systems make life feel more connected, more resilient, and they give your loved one a sense of belonging and trust. They also help to reduce the pressure on you because support isn't just on your shoulders anymore. Strategy number 3, the third strategy I want to give you, is to create a life plan that prepares for change. Let's be real. Most of us are in survival mode. Our energy is spent on what's need to happen right now for our loved one or for our family. And I get it. That makes sense. But that also makes it really hard to plan for tomorrow when today is already too much. But staying in this place keeps us in this stuck in this cycle of caregiving and dependency and caregiving and dependency, caregiving and dependency. And I want you to find those moments just to step back, even just a little bit, and think about what could be best for your loved one tomorrow. And when we do that, when we think about what our loved one's best life could look like, we start to see other options. We start to see a different path. And I want to help you see a path where your loved one can build a life of their own, not just having a ride-along life in your life. And that really starts with building a life plan that gives you clarity on the direction that you're headed. And once you have clarity in the direction you're headed, it makes making decisions easier. It starts to give you more space to breathe. And it starts to create the freedom that you want for your loved one, but also for you. A good life plan will help you layer in those supports that we talked about so that you're not relying on one support system to carry everything. It's all about long-term sustainability for you and for your loved one. So your loved one may still need government programs. And as they change, it might be hard to try and adjust. And you should definitely use what's available as your loved one needs it. But when you reduce dependency on those programs, because you've layered in many different types of supports and you have a life plan that's giving you a direction that you want to go in, you start to increase your family's peace of mind. You start to increase stability in your loved one's life and in your family's life. So if you're ready to start building that type of support and get a little bit more peace of mind, download the free Life Planning 101 guide, which is below this video. I'll walk you through how to get started, how to start to build more natural relationships in your loved one's life, that support circle. How do you start to think about layering those different types of support into your loved one's life and create a plan that allows growth for your loved one, for your family, and helps you shift towards a more sustainable future. And again, you don't have to do it all at once. Just take it one step at a time. I show you how to do that. So go ahead, get your free Life Planning 101 guide. I'm Eric Goll. Together, let's take a small step forward.